Good morning, everyone. I am going to read The Story for All Ages today from A Lamp in Every Corner by Janine Grossmeyer. This is our Unitarian Universalist storybook. I have an electronic copy on my computer that I'm going to read from today. The Consolidation, 1961. As the Protestant Reformation moved across Europe in the 1500s, both Unitarian and Universalist ideas resurfaced more strongly, and the ideas went with the European immigrants to North America. Unitarian Universalists? That's the name we say when someone asks us, "What religion are you?" And then they usually say, "A uni what?" Unitarian Universalists, we say again, but often the name by itself doesn't seem to explain very much. Perhaps that's because Unitarian Universalist is not really a name by itself. It's two names together because we come from two religions, the Unitarians and the Universalists. Both religions have roots far back in the Protestant Reformation, nearly 400 years ago. Both religions were established in the United States around the time of the American Revolution, over 200 years ago. Both religions have much in common. They both believe the importance of social justice, religious education, and the tolerance in different beliefs. In the 1880s, the Reverend Thomas Starr King, who was raised as a Universalist and became a Unitarian minister, and so perhaps might be described as a Universalist Unitarian, said the only reason that Unitarian Universalists hadn't really joined together was that they were too closely related by marriage. And yet they did marry. Not that it was easy, and courtships took years. And not everyone was interested. Some people said, "Why not?" But other people said, "Why? What will we have to change? What will be different? What will we lose? What will we gain?" And they weren't quite sure. So they formed committees and commissions to find out. There were studies and papers. There were meetings and panels and polls. People talked and talked and talked. These were Unitarian Universalists, after all. Finally, in 1959, nearly 100 years after the idea first had been born, most people were convinced it would be a good thing to join together. They were saying, "Why not?" instead of "Why?" So they agreed on a plan to consolidate, and they printed the plan in a little blue book. 1,000 delegates, 600 Unitarians and 400 Universalists gathered in Syracuse, New York, to vote on the plan. But before they voted, they talked some more. They talked about what to name the new religion. Should it be Universalist Unitarians or Unitarian Universalists? Should there be a hyphen between the two names, or should they choose a totally new name? They talked about making 57 different changes to the plan to consolidate, and each group, the Unitarians and the Universalists, had to vote on each and every single one. It took them days, but they did it. The delegates agreed on the plan to consolidate and became the Unitarian Universalist Association. Then it was up to the churches to decide whether to agree or not. Now, usually when the association held a plebiscite, voters from all the people in each church, instead of one vote from that church's delegate, only about 20% or so of the churches would even bother to reply. But this time, in order for the consolidation to succeed, 75% of the churches had to vote, and 75% of those churches had to say, "Yes, we want to join." "It'll never happen," said some people. "We'll never get that many people to vote, let alone vote yes." But the delegates had worked too hard and too long on the plan to consolidate and let the vote die. So they called each church and they asked members to vote. Vote yes or vote no, whichever you choose, but vote. And they did. But 20%, not 50%, not 75%, no, more, over 90% of the churches decided to vote. And they voted yes. In May of 1961, the American Unitarian Association and the Universalist Church of America consolidated with each other, and the Unitarian Universalist Association was officially formed. Hundreds of ministers gathered the delegations for a celebratory worship service, and all joined in singing, "As tranquil streams that meet and merge, and flow as one to seek the sea, our kindred fellowships unite to build a church that shall be free." Hymn 145 from the Gray Hymnal. Donald Harrigan delivered the sermon, Unitarian Universalism, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and at the end of the service, the delegates promised, "We declare our allegiance to the new Unitarian Universalist Association and pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our faith to its highest purpose and sure upbuilding." So we hear today, 60 years later, the two names and one religion, Unitarian Universalists.